We're going to have some rage come out here, so we've got a mixed bag of what we're going to talk about, whether it's regular, normal, logical, Wolver, sometimes angry, or just straight pissed off Wolver about some stuff that went down today, specifically in Marvel Snap. So I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit. We're going to talk about this some in the patch notes. We're not going to like focus on new decks necessarily. Play Loki. Okay, cool. Game over. Thanks. So that'll be another topic. But I want to go over some of these patch notes, and part of me is going to share some things I've shared with the folks over at Second Dinner, and also give my raw, not held back opinions on it. They know it. I'm not shy about putting it out there, and I think it's healthy for everybody to have those conversations. So right now, we are just going to talk about what's in the game here and in the patch notes. Happy Halloween. Again, this is coming out after Halloween. I hope everybody had a good trick-or-treating. It snowed where I was at. So, wah, wah, wah. Last year it rained. Jeez Louise. So anyway, what do we got in the updates? First, Spotlight Cache Keys. When I first saw this, I was a little worried because I was kind of like, is this free to collect anytime? You will not automatically open caches. I was like, I'm confused. This is great. What this is, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Instead of Spotlight caches, you get this key, right? See this key here? So now I'm going to have how many ever keys. I click this. Oh, I claim a key. Doink. It goes over there. So now whenever I want to open or try to do whatever, I'm assuming I click here. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to do my Werewolf by Night stuff later. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I like that. So now I don't have to stress about where these are at. I know exactly how many spotlights I have. Gigantic thumbs up to Second Dinner for this. Got to give credit where credit is due. Update your deck cosmetics loadout. When editing a deck, there's a tab for managing that deck's avatar, Includes new screens for easily viewing card backs, etc. Again, gigantic thumbs up because I love quality of life stuff. See how we have this nice little thing here? So now we can get this. This is fantastic. I want to change this. I want to do whatever I want to do here. Let's change our avatar to this Nico. Equip to all. Set as favorite. Again, this equip to all, I love it. I absolutely love it, so I can pick whatever I want. Same thing here. You know, I want to do this a favorite, equip to all. That way, if I want to have something consistent, I can do it. I absolutely love that they did this. It's perfect. Bonus gold for first purchases. Your first purchase of gold of any amount now grants double a gold. So this is going to make anybody who's spending money on this game, I guarantee are going to buy every level of gold. I've spent money on gold before. Guess what? I am absolutely going to buy every level of those gold so that I can build up gold. Now, if you're somebody who's not necessarily disciplined about how you spend, I would highly recommend waiting until there is an offer in game that you like, that you want to open for. Again, this is only a one-time bonus. Then we've got some audio effects for Doom, Heimdall, Odin, Living Tribunal, High Evo, and Kang. I haven't seen them yet. I'm sure they're dope. Balance updates. So this is going to be the part where the shades come on and I get a little bit more rowdy. And by rowdy, that doesn't mean I'm like going to be swinging and yelling, and I'm just going to be that inner darkness, that inner, like, anything that I'd ever want to hold back and think about, I want to know about their feelings. I might want to be sensitive there. That's not going to happen when I talk about these. So Mobius, and this is going to be the primary focus of this conversation. Look, he's changing from 2-3 to 2-3. Great. He used to be ongoing. Now he's on reveal. This was one of the most powerful cards to ever come in the game. You could see it from 30,000 miles away and know that this card was insane good. It came out as a Series 4, which frankly always confused me. I'm like, how is this card a Series 4? This clearly is a Series 5 card. Well, now it's going to be an on reveal, and until the end of next turn, your cards can't be increased and your opponent's cost can't be reduced. Your cost, I said your cards. So basically, it's like a one turn thing, you know, and it's like, that's it. This is, Glazer had a thumbnail that said like the murder of Mobius. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. This card, is it dead? Feels like it. To be able to pinpoint something like that, it's terrible. Now, before I rage about a lot of the things in here, what I will say is I didn't like the fact that the old version of this, the ongoing version of this, killed negative decks. It took an archetype out of the game. Yeah, I think Jeff made a video out there that was still decent. Look, Jeff's a great player. I still think the deck was pretty much dead. Negative was hard to play. I'm sure there were circumstances where it could get pulled off, but it's not like people are going to go into infinite playing negative, right? Still, now they probably won't either. So, you know, we're splitting hairs a little bit, but it made it that so that if somebody had Mobius, it just felt terrible. It's like, okay. Now, the part that I don't like about this, they know it had a massive impact on the metagame. Forcing a changing of the guard among top decks that saw perennial powerhouses like Zabu's Era and Death fall from grace in favor of decks that could push power by just playing cards with their normal energy costs. Again, super obvious to see. While we were eager to see the world Mobius would create, we expected to make an adjustment down the road in order to welcome cost reduction strategies back into the sunlight. I don't like this. So they knew this was going to be a problem. And they did it anyway. People spent tokens. People spent spotlight caches on this. Now, for Series 4, I always say spend tokens. Are you buying this card because you think it's going to be like this for how long? Like, when you buy something, when you spend money on something, I typically want to know, like, if I buy a car, you know, an expensive car, I know if I buy, like, let's say a high-end Mercedes or a Lexus or something like that, I know that card's going to be Freudian slip there, is going to be reliable for a long time. Something that I can count on. So I am willing to spend my money on that. Now, maybe there's a car that's not as reliable, and I actually don't even know. That's just a jalopy. I don't even know. That's just you're buying a lemon from a used car dealer. You're not going to pay as much because you know, look, I'm going to get a limited opportunity to use this car. It's not going to win me any races. It's not going to do anything great for me. Well, but you know going into that purchase what you're getting. The problem that I've got here is that we don't know how much they're going to change things. Now, they need to be able to, they second dinner need to be able to adjust the meta to be able to make things fresh. I like that out of OTAs. What I don't like is new card. And then I said this very clearly. I said, this is a line that you need to be very, very careful with, because to me, like, you don't, new cards, like changing them, just, you don't want to do it. You don't, like, especially if you nerf it. It is a bad thing. And if you start doing it too much, it's not good. And this is one of those that's not good. Thank God this card was not Series 5. Again, the fact that they expected this to be something they changed down the line clearly indicates that that's why they released it as Series 4, because they knew the backlash they would have gotten had they had this as Series 5 and people opened spotlights or used 6,000 tokens on it would have been very large. Now, look, people are going to be upset. People are telling me Cam had a video about it. I trick-or-treating. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but knowing generally what I think his opinion is, I think it's going to be similar to mine, where it's just, this isn't how it needs to be. This isn't how it should be. You, second dinner, need to get your shit together ahead of time. You need to know with new cards and be more on point. I've got no problem if, look, we totally missed on this. Eliath was too strong. You know, we needed to bring it down a bit. Again, Mobius was a card. 2 seconds of looking at this, 2 seconds of understanding this, 2 seconds of playing this card going, this is going to change everything. I don't mind cards like that, but if you want to leave a card like that in game, you've got, or if you create a card like that, you've got to have it and know that it's going to be there for at least a couple months for a while, and have something that could potentially counter it. So that actually, as you say that, it's like, okay, if you have something right away that counters it, you're just selling the new thing so for somebody to get upset. Like, now I've got to buy this new card. Now I've got to buy that new card. And you don't want to go down that path. That's where I really voice my opinion with them, is like, you cannot have these expectations where is it at here? Let's read the rest of this and I'll get to it because it should be in here somewhere. Today is that day as we're shifting Mobius to provide a temporary counter that requires good timing to maximize the effect. The effect's trash. The timing it's ridiculous. This makes him trickier to set aside energy for. No kidding. Kind of like Shadow King. I feel like this is quite a bit different than Shadow King. I guess, yes, they're 2-cost type cards. I think Shadow King's 2/3 as well. I get that, but Shadow King can hit a card that's already there. So I can go, okay, they're building up Angela over there, or they're building up Sunspot over there, or they've got a Black Panther there. I'm going to hit that my last turn with my Shadow King. And I know what's going to hit. Versus Mobius, it's like, all right, I've got a gun, I've got a rifle, and I'm sitting out there and I'm going, I know they're going to fly by at some point. I don't know exactly when that is, but the only way for me to hit that target is to pull the trigger before it actually comes into my sight and before I know it's even there. And I've got to hope that when I pull the trigger, I guessed right for when that bird or whatever I'm trying to hit, that clay pigeon, for anyone who's a non-hunter out there, is going to pop out. And then I know I hit it. That's what Mobius is now. And it's like, anybody who's ever tried to hit a target, shot a gun, or done anything like that, you will know that is ridiculous. This is not like Shadow King. Shadow King is a gun, for keeping with that analogy, is like, all right, there is a clay pigeon sitting on that fence there. I know it's going to be sitting there. It's going to be eating and getting bigger, and I want to eat that pigeon. So I'm going to let it grow a little bit, and eventually I'm going to get it right at the end, just before I'm done, and then I know it's mine and I control it. Versus the other scenario where it's like, this is the Mobius scenario. I've got a rifle, and I know things are flying back and forth that I want to get, whatever they are. But for me to be able to get that thing, I've got to pull the trigger before I see it and then hope it flies across. Huge, huge difference there. They're not even close. And also opens up counters like magic for decks that are hyper vulnerable to Mobius being played on turn 5. I'm frankly not scared of Mobius at all. Someone might hit me with it here and there. Cool. The same thing as if somebody played a Cosmo before I did something a turn before, right? It's the same concept. Now, this is the part I want to talk. We're also interested to hear your feedback on our approach here, using a new card as a tool to create a new play environment temporarily. Trash. This is trash. This is trash. The only part that makes it trash is this. Okay? Those 3 letters make this trash. Okay? Take out those letters and make it to old card. Fine. No problem. I've got zero problem if they take an old card and do this. None. You know what? That's not a big deal because, and I think KM said this, but I don't want to divulge too much as far as conversations behind scenes and stuff, but when you look at something like this and you are trying to get new cards and they are so hard to get, and you do something like this, it's going to upset people, and rightfully so. So second dinner, don't do this. Not with new cards. You want to do it once every 2 or 3, 4 months? Maybe. That's fine. Okay, I can deal with that personally. It's like, ugh, that's annoying, but whatever. But this feeds into that. They have new cards. They want you to buy them, and then they're going to nerf them. So you buy the next thing. I actually firmly believe these come off now. Okay, I'm coming back down a little bit. I don't think this was... While they knew this, I don't believe that to be their intent with this game. I think they recognized this was going to be a problem. Maybe they were already on the path, or like, we just need to stick with this path. It is what it is. It is what it is. We will have to take the flack. Now, personally, if I was second dinner, I would find a way to make people feel a little bit better about this with the Mobius thing. If you bought Mobius with tokens, honestly, I would send, I mean, what is it? 3,000? Is it 3,000 tokens, I think? It's been a while. I would send 1,000 tokens at least, 1,500 tokens. Say, look, we know we changed this card fundamentally. You paid tokens for it. This is a bigger change than just a simple OTA. This is not just, making it a 2-2 or 2-1. We are fundamentally changing what we're doing here. So here are the tokens, or some tokens you should get. Okay, that's what they should do. All right, I've talked a lot about this now. I don't want to ramble. I've been doing that. Deal with it. I didn't even have the shades on to look at you like that. Second dinner. And look, as a player, you react to what a game does. If a game does something you don't like, leave. Okay, that's it. Voice your opinion. Share on Discord, Reddits, Twitters, all of the things, how you feel about this. My personal opinion is never do this for new cards. It is a fine, and dirty ass line that you don't want to be crawling across if you're second dinner or a gaming company. It's just going to make a bad habit and people are going to walk away, except for people who are already too invested or whales who are never going to walk away until the game would eventually go away. All right, enough of that, I think. Ravana Renslayer ongoing. This is a great change. I've been calling for this forever. I don't even need to read the rest of this, but this needs to be done. I'm so happy they did it. It's phenomenal. Wave. This one, so it used to be a 3/3. Now it's a 3/5. The reveal is essentially, it says all cards cost a maximum of 4 until the end of next turn. So you can reduce cost of cards, and it doesn't read great, but you can reduce the cost of cards to 4, but it will not increase the cost of cards to 4. This change we've been settling on for a while, but we didn't want to introduce such a shakeup in the metagame during a time when Wave was an important balance tool for managing specific matchups. I get that. However, the combination of Loki, Mobius, Alioth all have led to Wave seeing play in more decks than just the ones looking to slow the game down and play big cards. We're seeing a lot more decks get ahead than use Wave to slam the door. Since that's explicitly not what we want for Wave, the timing seemed right for this adjustment. Wave will no longer increase card costs at all. And that's how I know what I just said. So I wanted to get to that point. So that's it. I mean, Wave's a very, very different card. I think there's some bugs with it right now where maybe it is sort of being funky with Death and She-Hulk and all that. Basically, if it's above 4, it comes to 4. If it's lower than 4, it does nothing different. It stays how it is. So it just basically sets the cost to 4. I like it. I think it's a great change. I like the power adjustment to it because it's not quite as strong. Sandman, they've buffed to 5/4. Cool. I'm down. I think that there's a potential if Loki's a problem for you, look into Sandman decks. All right. That's a deck that I'll definitely be making is some Sandman stuff. I'll check that out. But honestly, Loki, Werewolf by Night, I'm going to be digging into all that. Normally today's the day I show off like a Werewolf by Night deck video, but I mean, it's just, this is more important to talk about. Ant-Man, they changed the text so that when a location's full, +3, this is along lines with the other stuff. I get it. Alioth, another card that they specifically changed, but it only destroys enemy cards that are still on their side. This is basically a change for Goblin or something like that. So that fully makes sense. I'm glad they did that. The big change here on another card that I think could make a big difference, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Still don't have this card. It used to be 3/5. Now it's a 3/2. Now it is after an enemy card is played here, destroy it once per game. I like this a lot better. I think this is phenomenal. Before it was destroying everything, your card and their card. I didn't like it. It was obviously not getting play. That's why they changed it. I think this is a good change overall. And then they have some character spotlight stuff. So look, the biggest thing here is the Mobius. The biggest thing within that is this sentence. We're also interested to hear your feedback. So give the M. No, I'm not going to go that far. Give the feedback. Trying to be Disney appropriate now. No, what am I? I'm wearing the shades. I can't be Disney appropriate. Give the MF feedback to these folks at Second Dinner. It is needed to be known. And again, let's please unite around this word. Let's unite around this because I think I like the fact that Snap can be changed, that they can adjust the meta and do it often. So if they need to do something like this temporarily, don't do it to a new card. Got it? Good. It's simple. Happy Halloween. If you made it this far in the video, I very much appreciate you. Want to hammer down that like button? Very much appreciate that. Trying to go for 5,000 subscribers. Did we get it? I don't think so. It was yesterday. I haven't checked yet, but I appreciate everybody who helped try to push there. Thank you. Thank you. I know I fell short. Still love your faces. Look, you got to shoot for goals, and sometimes they've got to be a little bit unattainable, and you do what you can. I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep covering this game. I like it. It's fun. I like you guys. So come hang out. I'm going to maybe streaming things. Discord, link description below. Hammer down like button. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.